Fast, factual, and AI-assisted. You're listening to Neural Newscast.
Welcome to Neural Newscast. I'm Andrew Lindbeck. On September 20th, 2025, we remember. In 1853, inventor Elisha Graves Otis sold his first hoist machine, an elevator with a newly patented automatic safety brake, a breakthrough that helped make tall buildings practical. For political insight, here's what's new. The White House says it will finalize a deal to give U.S. control of TikTok's recommendation algorithm. Cassandra Joyce reports.
The White House says it is finalizing a deal in the coming days to give U.S. officials control over TikTok's recommendation algorithm. Chinese officials have not commented. Supporters frame this as a national security step to limit foreign influence over data and content. Critics warn government control of a private platform raises free speech, trade, and precedent concerns. Lawmakers from both parties debate whether a forced divestment, stronger privacy laws, or a ban best protects users. The administration calls the plan targeted, but industry groups caution it could spur retaliation and fragment the global internet.
British Prime Minister Keir Starmer is set to announce UK recognition of a Palestinian state. Monica Kellen is here with details.
Prime Minister Keir Starmer plans to announce that the United Kingdom will recognize a Palestinian state. Diplomats say France and Canada may take similar steps as leaders gather at the UN General Assembly. Supporters argue recognition advances a two-state solution and gives moderates leverage. Critics warn it could reward Hamas or bypass direct negotiations with Israel, a core dispute since the Oslo Accords. The move reflects one perspective in a wider debate over how to secure Israeli safety and Palestinian self-determination. Israeli officials signal concern, Palestinian representatives welcome momentum.
California has passed a law barring federal immigration agents from wearing masks during operations in the state. Let's hear from Daniel Grove.
California bars federal immigration agents from wearing masks in the state. Governor Gavin Newsom signs the bill, saying agents must be identifiable during operations. Supporters argue visible IDs improve transparency, protect civil rights, and build community trust. Critics warn the state is intruding on federal authority and could endanger agents during high-risk arrests. The law sets up a legal challenge over state power versus federal enforcement, part of an ongoing debate on immigration policy and public safety. Both sides frame their stance as protecting accountability and security.
The Pentagon has introduced new rules requiring some reporters to pledge limits on what they collect inside the building. Sarah Wheaton reports.
The Pentagon rolls out new rules that require some reporters to sign a pledge limiting what they collect inside the building. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says the policy protects operational security and personnel. Critics, including press freedom groups and several outlets, call it a prior restraint that chills reporting. The guidance restricts gathering certain visuals, floor plans, and identifiable security details in exchange for access. Supporters argue it targets sensitive information, not coverage, and is standard for high-security sites. Opponents counter this expands government control over newsrooms. The debate reflects broader tensions between national security and press access.
Tech companies are warning H-1B visa holders to avoid foreign travel amid proposed fee increases and administration clarifications. I'm joined by Ethan Wells.
Tech companies warn H-1B visa holders to avoid foreign travel after President Donald Trump proposes a $100,000 application fee for the program. Employers say the sharp increase could disrupt staffing and delay global assignments. The administration frames the fee as part of an effort to protect U.S. workers and curb abuse, one perspective in a long-running debate over high-skilled immigration. Supporters argue higher costs deter misuse. Critics call it a barrier for needed talent. This policy discussion remains active and contested.
Officials say the new $100,000 H-1B fee would apply only to new applicants, not renewals. Here's Kara Swift with more.
The White House says a new $100,000 H-1B application fee applies only to new visas, not renewals. The administration frames the change as a labor market measure to prioritize U.S. workers and curb perceived abuse. Tech firms and universities warn the steep cost could limit talent pipelines and slow innovation. Business groups argue the H-1B program fills skill gaps, Restriction advocates counter that employers should train domestic candidates. These are competing perspectives in an ongoing debate over immigration, competitiveness, and wage protections. This is Kara Swift for Neural Newscast.
Across continents, here's what's happening. Dozens of military tanks roll through Caracas in a parade labeled Encounter with the People. Let's hear from Samuel Green.
Dozens of military tanks roll through Caracas in a show dubbed Encounter with the People. Soldiers line major avenues as crowds watch the armored columns pass. The display comes amid high tension with the United States, which positions warships near Venezuela's Caribbean coast. Government organizers frame it as outreach and readiness. Opposition figures call it intimidation. No incidents are reported during the parade. The move underscores Venezuela's strained ties with Washington and the military's prominent role in domestic politics. This is Samuel Green for Neural Newscast.
This is Neural Newscast, where machine learning meets meaningful reporting. All stories are reviewed for accuracy before release. Find our full archive at neuralnewscast.com.
Now let's cover technology headlines. A cyber attack disrupted check-in and boarding systems at several major European airports, forcing manual processing. Kara Swift has the latest.
A cyber attack knocks out check-in and boarding systems at major European hubs, delaying flights. Brussels, Berlin-Brandenburg, and London Heathrow switched to manual processing. Collins Aerospace confirms a cyber-related disruption to its Muse software at select airports. At least 29 flights are canceled across the three, data show. Brussels reports 9 cancellations, 4 diversions, and 15 delays of an hour or more, with most departures running late. The issue hits shared kiosks that print passes and bag tags, exposing how one vendor can bottleneck entire airports.
Global stories shaping our world. Dutch police clashed with anti-immigration protesters who blocked a major highway in The Hague. Thomas Golding has more.
Police in The Hague clash with anti-immigration protesters after about 1,500 people block a major highway. Demonstrators halt traffic for hours and set a police car on fire, prompting riot police to move in. Officers deploy batons and make multiple arrests to clear the road. The protest targets national migration policies as tensions rise ahead of local debates. Authorities warn of serious risks to public safety. Emergency services reopen lanes later, but investigators document damage and review surveillance footage. Public transport and commuters face delays.
An elderly British couple freed from Taliban detention say they feared for their lives before their release. Laura Navarro reports.
An elderly British couple detained by the Taliban returned to the UK after months in custody. Peter and Barbie Reynolds say they feared for their lives while jailed in Afghanistan and expected execution. The Taliban freed them and allowed them to fly home. The couple were arrested during a wider security sweep targeting foreigners. British officials worked behind the scenes to secure their release. Their case highlights the risks for Western travelers in Afghanistan and the limits of consular access. This is Laura Navarro for Neural Newscast.
Environmental challenges and solutions ahead. Locals in New South Wales are alarmed over a proposed lead mine near vineyards and family farms. Samuel Green joins us with the latest.
A proposed lead mine in central west New South Wales sparks fear for children's health. The project sits near vineyards and family farms in a renowned wine region. Parents say recent revelations that the environmental watchdog buried a lead mining report erode trust. Farmer Lisa Price describes a community on edge. We are horrified. Residents worry about lead dust, water contamination, and long-term exposure risks. They want transparent assessments, clear timelines, and safeguards before any approvals move forward. Environmental and health reviews now face intense scrutiny.
Celebrity news and pop culture highlights. Diane Martell, the music video director known for Blurred Lines, has died at 63. Lydia Holmes joins us.
Diane Martell, the inventive music video director behind Robin Thicke's Blurred Lines, dies at 63. Over 3 decades, she shapes pop visuals for Jennifer Lopez, Mariah Carey, Miley Cyrus, and Beyoncé. Her work tops charts and stirs debate, drawing misogyny criticism over Blurred Lines. Martell also choreographs and produces, pushing artists toward bold imagery. Fans and collaborators praise her fearless eye and precision, calling her impact unmistakable. This is Lydia Holmes for Neural Newscast.
Now, science headlines and discoveries. NASA is enlisting volunteers and amateur radio operators to help track Artemis 2 around the moon. Nathaniel Cohen joins us.
NASA invites volunteers to help track Artemis 2, the crewed mission that will orbit the moon. The agency asks amateur radio operators and citizen scientists to listen for spacecraft signals and report data. These crowdsourced observations help confirm trajectory and communication links in real time. NASA says the effort broadens coverage beyond official ground stations. More ears improve resilience, the agency notes, as Artemis 2 prepares for its crewed lunar flyby.
New seismic imaging confirms a large crater beneath the North Sea off Yorkshire from a long-ago asteroid impact. Now, Natalie Quinn joins us.
Scientists confirm a 20-kilometer-wide crater beneath the North Sea off Yorkshire formed from an asteroid impact. New seismic imaging and sediment analysis show the Silver Pit crater dates to roughly 60 to 65 million years ago. The structure features concentric rings and shattered rock typical of hypervelocity strikes. Researchers say the impact would have triggered tsunamis and regional devastation, offering a rare North Sea window into Earth's violent past.
International headlines coming up. Heightened security is in place in Arizona as Americans gather for a memorial honoring conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Here's what Benjamin Carter found.
Security tightens in Arizona as Americans gather for a memorial honoring conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Former President Donald Trump and Sen. J.D. Vance speak at the event, drawing large crowds and a heavy police presence. Officials set up checkpoints and restricted parking near the venue. Organizers frame the ceremony as a unifying tribute. Local authorities urge patience and say they aim to keep traffic moving and tensions low.
Now, let's share the latest in entertainment. Julia Roberts says she was scared and intimidated meeting co-star Chloe Sevigny before filming their new movie. Here's what Robert Klein found.
Julia Roberts says she felt scared and intimidated meeting Chloe Sevigny before filming After the Hunt. Roberts, 56, stars in the upcoming drama and calls Sevigny a formidable presence. The two meet ahead of production to align on tone and character dynamics. Roberts frames the nerves as respect for Sevigny's range in indie and mainstream roles. She adds the initial jitters quickly turn into collaboration and trust on set.
Updates from around the globe are next. That wraps our headlines for this edition of NNC Daily News. Cassandra Joyce has more.
This is Cassandra Joyce for Neural Newscast.
That wraps up today's journey through time on NNC, Neural Newscast. Discover more stories and daily news episodes at our website, nnewscast.com. Neural Newscast fuses real and AI-generated voices for fast, quality news. AI creates, humans review. We aim for accuracy, but errors can happen. Verify key details. Learn more at nnewscast.com.